Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for this public meeting about the Hillsborough County Public Schools Facilities Element Update. My name is Bryn Dauphiné with the Planning Commission, here to talk about a few housekeeping items, as you can see on the screen here. This meeting is being recorded. We will send you all follow-up communication with instructions on where to find the recording and related materials soon. We have a number of options on Microsoft Teams that allow you to add live captions, change the language of on-screen materials, adjust high contrast visibility, and more. Just navigate to the 3 dots at the top of your screen to explore these options. We welcome comments on this project and want to make sure that we document them and have all of them in one place. Please place any questions or comments you have in the chat function, and we will answer them in the order received. We would ask that in addition to comments this afternoon, any written comments be submitted to the project page. This will help us ensure we capture all your comments, are able to review them as a staff group, and can ensure they be included in any agenda packets that go to the Planning Commission as well as elected officials during our process. If you have a question or comment about another aspect of the comprehensive plan or another project or development, we ask that such questions be directed to planner@plancom.org. Again, that's planner@plancom.org. And we will do our best to forward your comments or questions to the appropriate team member or outside agency. We're here to listen and look forward to going over the updates, answering your questions, and hearing your feedback. We have members of the Planning Commission as well as Hillsborough County Public Schools here to respond to any of your technical questions. Thank you again for spending this afternoon with us. And at this time, I will go ahead and turn it over to our presenters. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, Bryn. My name is Sophia Garantiva with the Planning Commission. And online, we also have, as Bryn mentioned, staff from Hillsborough County Public Schools, Growth Management Planning and Siting Department, Michelle Orton and Renee Kamen. And today we're here to provide some information on the update to the public schools facilities element of the Hillsborough County Comprehensive Plan. So just a quick overview of the presentation. We're going to go over some basics about the comprehensive plan and the framework for school planning in the county, what the public schools facilities element is and why it's being updated, and a summary of the changes. And then we'll wrap up with some next steps in the update process and have time for some Q&A. Also on the screen is a QR code that takes you to the webpage for the update in case at any point during the meeting you'd like to send comments or look through the draft documents. So what is a comprehensive plan? It is a long-range plan that sets a vision and goals for a county's future and overarching framework. It includes policies and maps that guide a community's development, infrastructure, and preservation decisions. So these policies are all housed into sections in Hillsborough County or elements on topics that affect a community, such as land use, capital improvements, or in this case, school facilities. The county's plan is currently being updated as part of a multi-year process, which this element is a part of. Some broad context on the agencies and government entities that are involved in school planning. So the overarching government entity is the state of Florida, and it regulates school planning through state statutes, which the school district, the county, and the Planning Commission adhere to. Each local agency has their own state-mandated responsibilities in the school planning process, with the school district having the majority of the responsibility. So what are those? Some of those responsibilities? So school district manages the educational standards and school operations, and everything gets voted on by the school board. This includes budgets, redistricting, curriculum, and construction of schools. The county manages the land development and implementation of school concurrency, and the Planning Commission manages the comprehensive plan. And the last piece that's not the focus of today's meeting, but it is closely related, is the interlocal agreement for schools facilities planning, siting, and concurrency. It is another state mandated tool that the 3 of us agencies use to determine location for schools, which is probably the most known process for those joining online and then the majority of communities. So what is the public schools facilities element? It is an optional comprehensive plan element. It was last revised in 2016. So optional just means it's not one of the mandated ones that has to be in the comprehensive plan, but it does not get treated any differently. It's also a tool to coordinate review processes between county agencies, and it also includes and outlines any requirements that the state requires us to have in that element. Again, it does not allocate funds, affect school boundaries, or determine any curriculum requirements. Those all lie under the school district's purview. So why is the public schools facilities element being updated? It is part of the overall update to the county comprehensive plan, but also there have been changes in state legislation that need to be reflected in the element. And there have been changes in the interlocal agreement for facilities planning, siting, and concurrency. And this was last updated in April of 2023. So the element also needs to reflect these changes. So some of the policies that are being updated relate to intergovernmental coordination procedures. So how all three agencies work together and review like citing for schools, for example, concurrency review processes for the state statutes. One of the things that has changed at the state level that we need to include, level of service table for the interlocal agreement, something that the school district works with the county on to come up with, references to Florida state statutes, and references to interlocal agreements, just a little bit of cleanup, making sure everything is corresponding to all the other documents that we use. Also nomenclature and formatting, which is just a general modernization of the element to match the other elements that have been updated already in the comprehensive plan. So next steps in the process include public hearings in April and May, and these are open to the public for you to speak at if you wish. The first one is April 8th. At 5:30 is the public hearing for the Planning Commission. And then at the earliest, the Board of County Commissioners would hear this item in May. Then in the summer, it goes to the State Department of Commerce for review. And then in August, it should come back to the Board of County Commissioners for adoption. Just please note that some of these dates are subject to change. You can stay updated and provide comments on the website. You could use the QR code again here or type in the shortened link to access the website. And that concludes the presentation. Our contact information is located below for Michelle Orton and myself. And for now, we'll go into Q&A portion. If anyone, I guess, Bryn, has anyone put any questions into the chat?
We do not have any questions at this time, but our chat is open. So if anybody has any questions, anything that they'd like to ask or learn more about, please feel free to go ahead and type that on in. I have someone asking, may we ask specific questions regarding the future of McLean Middle School?
Although this meeting is about the update to the element, we do have school staff here. If they wish to briefly address it, we can go ahead and use some of that time to do that, if school staff is okay with that.
I guess it would help if I unmuted myself on this. I can briefly say that McLean Middle School will be one of our schools that is being repurposed for ESE and for youth services. It's a launch for post-secondary schools. It's a tech center for educational, well, for our teachers. So that's what it will be used for.
Thanks, Michelle. I hope that addresses your question, Ms. Saunders. And then I see another question here from Mr. Coleman, Dave Coleman. Does the comp plan involve the CIT? So the CIT is the community, the community and not improvement. Help me out here. It's the tax that has been recently in the news.
Tax.
Investment, thank you. I keep forgetting what the middle part is. Yes. So the community investment tax. And as we mentioned in the presentation, the comp plan doesn't address and doesn't fund or allocate any monies, and that would be a separate topic of discussion. So the two are not related.
Dave, if you wish to ask that of our planners, you are welcome to send that question to planner@plancom.org, and it's possible we could assist in helping you track down that answer.
Thank you, Bryn. Okay. Leave the chat open for a couple minutes here, just in case anyone else has any questions. I'm not seeing anyone typing or any three dots there. So with that, I'm going to thank everyone again for taking the time to listen in and watch the presentation on the Public Schools Facilities Element Update. Again, if you have any other questions regarding the element, you can email myself or anything specific to schools. Michelle Orton will be happy to answer. Her contact information is on the screen. Or if anything, you have any questions regarding other projects or other elements of the comprehensive plan, you can go ahead and email planner@plancom.org with your questions. Again, thank you everyone for your time, and I will go ahead and end the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.